Welcome back, everyone. It's Peter Tragos, the lawyer you know, and we did a reaction video to the Kim Potter sentencing a few days ago, and we asked in that video if you all, the viewers, wanted to see a breakdown of the statements made by Kim Potter during that sentencing hearing to see if she made any admissions, anything that can be used against her in the future, or protected herself at all when speaking to the victim's family or anyone else in that courtroom that day. And you all spoke and asked for a video on Kim's comments, so this is that video. We're about to jump in. If you haven't already, subscribe to our page, please. And if you are one of the ones that asked for the comments or are watching and enjoying this video, hit the like button and let us know that this is the content that you are interested in. But for now, let's jump into her statements, which happened right before the judge's comments, which is very interesting in how the timing of all this works at sentencing. The defendant gives her comments in this case right before the judge hands down the sentence. So this is not something necessarily that the judge listened to and then changed her mind on or went back and thought more about. The judge had already made her decision prior to Kim Potter's comments, but a lot of her remorse was felt when she took the stand, and a lot of her remorse was heard throughout the letters that were submitted to the judge prior to sentencing. So all of that had an effect, and I'm sure the judge wasn't too surprised at how Kim Potter acted at the sentencing hearing and what she said. But let's go ahead and watch that video together now.
Okay, Ms. Potter, would you like to address the court? Please go to the podium and you may remove your mask.
Thank you. To the family of Daunte Wright, I am so sorry that I brought the death of your father.
Okay, Ms. Potter, my court reporter can't hear you, so...
Thank you. To the family of Daunte Wright, I am so sorry that I brought the death of your son, father, brother, uncle, grandson, nephew, and the rest of your family to your home. Katie, I understand a mother's love, and I am sorry I broke your heart. My heart is broken for all of you. Earlier, when you said that I didn't look at you during the trial, I don't believe I had a right to. I didn't even have a right to be in the same room with you. I am so sorry that I hurt you so badly.
So I'm going to pause it right here. So she is sorry and continuously apologizing. She said that the family earlier in the sentencing said that she didn't even look at them during the trial. She's admitting that's true. She didn't, but she gives a reason because she feels like she didn't have a right to, and she didn't even have a right to be in the same room as them. Which again, if you're connecting the dots, she is absolutely admitting it is absolutely her fault that their son, brother, uncle is dead. And she is admitting she is the cause of their grief. She is the cause of their broken heart. There is no doubt about it. She knows that her actions caused this death, which is what she was convicted of. Now, does it fall into the statute or things like that? I know a lot of you have comments about that, and I have my thoughts about that. But at this point, during the sentencing hearing, she is admitting she is absolutely the cause of their death and grief. And while it may not affect a future criminal case because she can admit that and still say it was an accidental shooting and make those legal arguments, it absolutely could affect a civil case. This has become pro se wrongful death. Either intentional or negligent acts of Kim Potter caused his death. So again, this could have huge civil implications. Not that we're as worried about that at this point, but we're just reacting legally to what these statements could mean for Kim Potter in the future. So let's hear what else she has to say.
My heart is broken and devastated for all of you. I pray for Daunte and all of you many, many times a day. He is not more than one thought away from my heart, and I have no right for that, for him to be in my heart. I do pray that one day you can find forgiveness, only because hatred is so destructive to all of us. And that I pray peace will always be with you and your family. Again, I am so sorry. And to the community of Brooklyn Center, I do owe you an apology.
So she first apologized to the family, then she's going to apologize to the community. But at the end of apologizing to the family, again, as remorseful and serious and genuine as I have ever seen at a sentencing hearing. And you may think that everybody tries to get sympathy and apologizes to all the victims in criminal cases, but that is not the case. Many times, criminal defendants do not admit any wrongdoing, do not apologize. Nothing of the sort comes out in sentencing hearings. Now, sometimes it is like this, and sometimes they do apologize. But it's few and far between, and it makes a big difference, which is why in most sentencing guidelines, there are downward departures for taking responsibility for your actions. Now, sometimes that can come in the form of a plea deal where you're admitting you committed the crime, and then the judges will show leniency on you. Maybe even the prosecutors, what they're asking for in sentencing, they'll show leniency on you because of your admittance and taking the plea. But sometimes you can go to trial. Usually when you go to trial, you get hit hard, even though it's your constitutional right, and I think it's horrible. That's a discussion for another day. But usually if you take a case to trial as a criminal defendant, you get punished for that, and your sentence is more severe because you didn't take responsibility for your actions. You wasted the state's resources. You wasted the judge's time and the court's time. But this is a case where she was able to plead not guilty, go to trial, fight for her innocence, but still accept responsibility and apologize. That doesn't happen often, and I do think that the judge took this as taking responsibility and apologizing for her actions. Even though she doesn't agree they were criminal because she pled not guilty, but she still is taking responsibility for the damage she caused and apologizing for it.
Too, I loved working for you, and I am sorry what has happened to our community since the death of Daunte. The men and women who work for you still are good, honorable people, and will work hard for you. Thank you, Your Honor.
So that's the end of her comments. And she did something there, apologizing to the community, that she absolutely did not have to do. She doesn't have to do any of it, I guess, but she apologized to the victim, which makes sense. But she also wanted to take this opportunity to also apologize to the community because she knows a lot of damage has followed her actions, her conviction, and Daunte Wright's death. So she wanted to even take it a step further and apologize for that as well. I think this shows us a lot about her character and what she felt and what she thought. And there were, few and far between a couple comments calling her a racist and say she did it because he was black. You never know someone's heart, you never know someone's mind. I always hesitate to say somebody is or isn't a racist because, again, we don't know that. But this, to me, was purely accidental and not in any way motivated by race. That's just my perspective. Feel free to disagree. We can have disagreements and discussions about that. But this was one of the most gut-wrenching apologies from a criminal defendant who, again, is not a normal criminal defendant in cases like this, if such of one exists. But if you look at Chauvin or Arbery, some of those other cases, they were not nearly this remorseful. And their actions were much worse than Kim Potter's, in my opinion. But let me know what you thought. You guys wanted a breakdown of Kim Potter's comments, so we did it. Quick video just to give a little update and reaction to a criminal defendant admitting responsibility and apologizing at a sentencing hearing, even if they disagree that they've committed a crime. So that can happen in the law, and the judge, we already saw how this affected her, how this entire sentencing process affected her, and the 24-month sentence she handed down, which is more likely to be 14 to 16 months after time served once Kim Potter actually starts serving time from this sentence. So let me know your comments and thoughts, and make sure you hit the like button on the way out. But for now, that's all we've got. Thanks for watching this episode of The Lawyer You Know. If you like this content, please share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to our page and like our videos. If you want some interaction, get in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. If you want to know any more information about our firm or this page, you can find out in the description or visit tragoslaw.com. We post multiple times throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell so you can get the notification and not miss out on the next episode.